All right, well, I am currently on my way up the road here to record my first video. This is my first time being on video like this, so probably gonna sound pretty stupid most of the time. So bear with me on that. But this is Scott, the founder of MudDog Expeditions. But I hope to be a business up here in the Northwest one day. But right now we'll just start with these small videos. But I wanted to start by saying it's something different that I want to do. Not your normal type expeditions and or business or blogger that you usually see. I want to incorporate something different. There's a lot of people out there that go out in the wilderness and don't necessarily know what to do if their vehicle breaks down, or if they need to survive out there, or if they're just hiking or anything like that. So in addition to leading people out on expeditions within the Pacific Northwest and eventually, you know, the rest of the United States, out in different beautiful areas, national forests and whatnot, I want to teach people how to survive. So when you go on these MudDog trips, not only are you going to get a awesome experience with a bunch of like-minded people who just want to get out there and enjoy the wilderness and drive around and enjoy their vehicles, and, you know, family friendly, of course. But you'll get to experience how to classes on how to survive with, you know, survival tips, you know, building a shelter, or how to find water, how to purify water, how to build fire if you don't have any matches or anything that you should have at all times. But if you find yourself without all that, what to do to be able to survive out here, especially with family and little ones. Not only that, I want to teach people how to, you know, do things such as navigate off of a map, off the stars, celestial navigation, little small tidbits that could be the difference between life and death out in areas like, you know, we go to where you have no cell service, etc. So right now I'm on my way to the first location where I'm going to video the first video. That sounded stupid. Where I'm going to record the first video. I think I'm going to go with building a shelter, a way to get out of the elements, because man, I say a lot. The most people out in the wilderness, if they do get stuck or something, they, you know, exposure to the elements is what gets a lot of people. So being able to get out of the elements, whether it's rain or snow or the sun in a hot environment, it's really crucial to your survival in those, you know, first 24, 48 hours. So I think that's what the first lesson is going to be on. I'll throw in fire starting too as well with this lesson. So see you soon as we get to the location. Thanks. Sweet. Horrible at technology, but I think I finally figured this $100 camera out. Anyways, just going to give you guys a look. I think I found a good location for a pretty big campsite for a big MudDog group up in the snow here soon. It's not too hard to get up to this place, and I think even with a few more snows, it'll still be doable for us to get up here, so long as we're together and can pull each other out when we inevitably slip off the road in some spots. But anyways, just giving you guys a look. Alright, ladies and gents, finally made it to our location, so I'm going to get stuff set up here and then go ahead and shoot the first tutorial, so talk to you soon. Alright, once again, pretty crappy with all this camera stuff, but I was just going to give you guys a quick, I don't know, heads up on the products that I use and why. So Jetboil, I'm about to make lunch. I usually use the MSR stove, but after using it a few times out here, it gets pretty old. That thing blows out sometimes, and when it's raining, it's water straight onto it. I don't know. I've had better luck with this thing since I got it in the rain and wind than the MSR. So this is the one I prefer out here just because it's self-contained, easy, and the fire doesn't blow out as quickly or as easily as it does on the MSR. So that's that. A few other items that I always carry out here is my hatchet that I always keep very sharp. You never know when you're going to need this thing. This is a man-made. You can look it up online, but really good axe. Works good for chopping down little trees, splitting wood, whatever you need to do. Great axe, great company, made in America. Next thing that I carry is, these things are critical. You can pick these up at Walmart for a few bucks back in the camping section. Yuko stormproof matches, very awesome. I'll go ahead and light one here for you just so you can see. But these things can get you out of pinch. So just a quick strike here. There it is. I'm gonna try blowing it out. Nope. 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 You can't blow these out. I mean, put it in the snow. It's still trying to go. Holy crap. It's still going even though I put it in the snow. Good stuff to have. These things also come with tinder and some extra strike pads. So if you're ever in the wet and cold, need to get a fire started, this could save your life. Another thing I carry is a tinder bundle, waterproof. So inside this thing has tinder with fuel that's soaked into the tinder, so they're easy to start. And on the top of it is a striker. So all you have to do is put the thing on a stick, tinder on a stick, light it, and boom, you've got yourself some fire. Also, another basic item that everyone probably does carry, and if you don't, you should, is flint and steel. So these are good items to be able to light a fire when all else fails. Likewise, if you got if you got wet wood and you're trying to light a fire, it's probably not going to work. That's why I carry this homemade package that I made right here, a fire starter. As you can see, it's a bunch of cotton balls dry in a little metal can, as well as a bunch of Vaseline that I have in here. And it lights easily, burns slowly, so it gives you the amount of burn you need to get something that might be a little wet to start burning, to catch fire, to build a bigger fire. So awesome, easy thing to buy and make for yourself. So that's it for those products. Oh yeah, also something else that I carry. I'll go ahead and pick this up and show you. So something else I carry is this right here. It's literally a duct tape bundle of wood, dry, always in my car. And the reason for that is because out here, as you all know, this is Pacific Northwest. It could rain, snow, be wet. It's generally wet environment. It's not as pretty as this usually. So having dry wood on you at all times is a one-up on nature and possible survival situation. And of course, you can see my chainsaw and all the other gear I have. I'll slowly demo all this stuff or talk about it with more videos that I get, but that's it for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook up lunch, and then we'll be on to building the shelter. So talk to you in a bit. Oof. All right. Just sitting down to eat lunch. Finally got a fire made. Of course, the conventional way with a lighter and a thing you call it Zip It from Walmart. One light and go. Who wouldn't travel those out here? You gotta be stupid not to. Lights the fire for you. That's the smart way to do it. A lot of people rely on, you know, just a lighter, but shit, I dropped my lighter in the snow out here and stopped working for about 5 minutes. Anyway, not very reliable, but yeah, have as many forms of fuel and ways to start fire as you can, especially if you're out and about in these types of environments, because you never know exactly what's going to work. So, yep, I'm just about to let fires get in my damn face. Oh yeah, lesson learned. Fairly new to the area. Love it, obviously. But shoes. So, been out here in this area, right here in this spot for about, I don't know, 30 minutes now. Getting the campfire set up and cooking my lunch. My feet are freezing. These are waterproof shoes, Merrell's, but having the proper footwear when you go out, even if you're just driving in the vehicle, because you never know when you're going to get stuck and have to walk. My dogs are barking, so to speak, right now, so that's why I got the fire up quickly and I'm warming up my feet before I start the tutorial and why I eat lunch. So yeah, lesson number one: have good boots, even if you're just going to drive around. Have your snowshoes on, not snowshoes, but you know what I'm talking about. So I will be purchasing a pair of those when I get back home. But anyways, I'm gonna eat lunch, and like I said before, after lunch is done, then I'll go ahead and start the tutorial for making the shelter. Here's what I'm having for lunch. It is Alpine Foods. I like these better than the Mountain House that you can get from, I mean, anywhere you can, really Walmart, Mountain House, and you can get it at Cabela's and any outdoor store. Anyways, I find Alpine the taste a little bit better, and I've gotten sick off the Mountain House twice, so that's why I eat these. But anyways, I'm gonna get to chowing down this black bark chili with beef and beans, and then once I have my belly full, I'll start setting up the shelter. Okay, it happened. You're suddenly stranded out somewhere, and you need to survive for a day or a few days before you start your trek out of this area because the weather's bad or whatever the situation is. Someone's hurt and you can't push on. My biggest tip is to always be prepared. Always have something. Always have everything you need on you to survive if you're in an environment like this. Have a way to build shelter. Hey, have an axe. Correction, a hatchet or an axe, but if you're hiking, you'll probably have something lighter. Have a way to start a fire. Have some tinder in case it's wet, because as you know in the PNW, it's wet often, and you can't get dry wood, so you have to start really, really small and get enough flame to be able to dry some wood out. So being prepared is the biggest thing in the way to survive out here. So given that, I'm stranded out in the middle of the Pacific Northwest up in the snow. I'm cold. I have a hatchet. I have all the things that I need to be prepared. So basically, I'm just going to show you how to build an easy shelter and where to put your shelter and why I chose this location. So first reason I chose this location to build my shelter and eventually put up my signals is because, look, it is wide open. And since I've been here, I've seen 3 aircraft, airliners fly from SeaTac going to wherever they're going away from here. So you have a way for people to see you. It's out in the open. It's on the side of a hill. Yes, you're a little exposed, but at the same time you have some trees to block the wind, and where you set the shelter will help with that as well. But it's very open and wide, and you can see for miles in any direction upward. So they'll be able to see whatever signal that you send. Next question is where you put your shelter. Ideally, when you pick your shelter, pick it where you're not going to have stuff blown into it, rain, wind. So wherever the prevailing wind's coming from, put your shelter on the leeward side of the hill or tree, not the windward side. So that way, A, you don't have smoke blowing in your shelter, and or it's not cold because you have wind blowing in there. not as cold as it could be. So for this, what I picked for my shelter is, yes, you could go further down in here and pick some better spots, but for the sake of the video and what I want to show, we're gonna set up a shelter right here. And the reason being is because your shelter is already partially built for you. You have this tree, which is somewhat of a roof up over your head. And if there's more snow, it might provide even more cover from the elements. But you can see down in there, you pretty much have a shelter built. You just got to modify it and make it a little better for yourself. And the snow helps you out in this area because it also acts as an insulator. So what I'm going to do is show you guys how to build a simple shelter out here that can help you survive in the winter time. And yeah, so let me get everything set up and then I'll see you in just a second. Okay, as you can see, I'll pop some of that snow. I just took down a few little small pieces, branches in there, some pine bough. Well, yeah, I don't think this is exactly pine. Not exactly sure on the tree, but anyways, I put some bough down. I'll put more down here in a second, but you gotta remember to insulate yourself from the bottom as well. So this is a good insulator. Get a good layer of those in your shelter, help keep you warm, insulated more so from the bottom as well. So you can see the basic shape of the shelter that's gonna shape up here. I'm not going to be cutting down any living trees. They'll all be dead standing trees, or dead trees on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some of those down and then place them up here and show you how to build the shelter. All right, so yep, this is where having a sharp hatchet comes in handy out here. So I got the spine, so to speak, of our shelter that we'll go ahead and delimb here. Luckily, fire ran through this area a few months ago, and it's really conducive to what I'm trying to do here, luckily. All right, it's about there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so of course the shelter's for one person, so we'll get to building it. So baseline is going to be the rib structure that you're going to pile everything else on top of. So place this bad boy in there, just like so. And you can make this bigger, smaller. Obviously, smaller is going to be easier to keep warm, but bigger if you need it to be bigger, if there's more people. So we'll do that, and we'll have a side entrance over here to get into it. But now I'm going to go collect some evergreen boughs to place on the floor, and some more dead trees. And of course it's survival, who cares if it's dead or alive, but I don't want to damage the forest any more than I have to while I'm out here, not really surviving. But anyways, go get some more trees and I'll line them up here, and then we'll start the process for actually building the thatched roof. Oh, holy crap. I'll tell you, getting wood is not as easy as they make it look in those shows. Nonetheless, got myself some here, so we'll go ahead and start setting up the structure for the shelter. I decided to get a bigger piece of wood for the spine, for the roof. Use this for sides. We got the big piece here, support more weight. Get these two. Gotta get it up in there. There you go. Good spot. Right there. Okay. Got a good support there. Yep. Okay. So next, basically, what we're going to start doing is get your limbs, and we're going to start stacking them up. Just like so. I'm going to angle them forward just a tad to account for the downhill. It's going to be a slow process. But you're going to set all these up just like this. Leave a little room. The reason being is because you can interlace the boughs that you get to make it a little more waterproof, but not too worried about waterproof right now necessarily. Another good thing to have if you're having to do this is rope, which I do have, but I won't be using it for this one. Not necessary. The whole point of this tutorial is to set up a quick shelter that can get you out of the elements just long enough to allow you to survive and get your bearing and move on whenever you're ready. So I'm going to continue sizing these pieces up and layering up to the tree, and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so have pretty much the structure of it built. It's not pretty. Yes, I could spend hours and hours and hours making it pretty and perfect, but there's no point in that. The point is to get out of the elements. So basic spine's built. Now what we're going to do is just cut off a few of these limbs and overlay them bottom to top. The reason for that is so you can repel rain. If you go top to bottom, obviously you're going to have slits where the rain can get through. It's not going to be perfectly waterproof, but in the snow, it's going to keep you out of the snow. And you can see I left snow in there. The reason is because I'm going to pack that in at the bottom for extra insulation. Also, once you get the shelter built up, you can pack snow all around these branches, everywhere back there. What I would do if I was going to be here for the night or a few nights, I'd pack up snow all the way around the backside as an insulator and insulate myself as much as possible. So now I'm going to go get some boughs and limbs, cut them, and start layering them up the tree. And after that, we'll start working on the inside and get a fire going to warm me up because my feet are freezing. Okay. Hello again. As you can see here, I've started layering these things up the tree. Slowly but surely. And you attach more and more to get more and more waterproof. As waterproof as you can. Over here you can see I've left the side open. That's my door area where my fire is going to be, but looking down inside here you can already see, of course I got to keep patching it up, but it's turning into a shelter slowly but surely, and this is something that could mean the difference between life and death. You know, you never know, but this is just a basic how-to on the lean-to shelter in the Pacific Northwest. We'll continue to layer these up, and then as soon as we get them layered up, then we will move on to the inside, get the inside prepared, get a fire started, call it a day. Talk to you soon. Okay, so make sure it's working. Yeah, it's working. All right, so we got it built. I'm gonna go and show it to you. We'll get inside, take a look. Now keep in mind, this isn't like, you're not gonna be completely warm in here. It's still gonna be uncomfortable, but it might be just enough to keep you alive. So as you can see here, got it built up pretty well, layered in. If I was going to be here for a while, of course I would spend a lot more time on this and make it a lot more weatherproof and put a lot more boughs in there, especially around the back side with snow, and pack it in to get some more insulation. But just for the sake of this video, that's not why I'm here. I just want to show you how to build a shelter. So you can go ahead and look inside here. I got the boughs laid down, feet in down there, and well, more about this camera thing. Let me, yep. So yeah, we got everything around here. I'm gonna go ahead and hop in here and then show you, oh, not show you, but go ahead and start a fire. And then we'll move on to the next lesson next time. Okay, so I'm not an idiot. I would never find myself out in a situation where I don't have wood or any kind of fire start or anything like that. That's another lesson where we'll learn how to start fire, so this one won't be how to start a fire lesson, but I will get one going with some of the tools I have and the dry wood that I will always have with me no matter where I go. But before I get in there, I'll go ahead and split this up. I do want to say that this would have been very hard without this hatchet. Worthy investment to have in your vehicle. You can do just about anything you need to out here with it. Doesn't have to be big axe. This hatchet does everything fine, keeping it sharp. This is a survival tool that is essential to have in your vehicle. So definitely have it. Just getting these split up kind of small here. Anytime you're starting a fire, don't use those big logs, but you guys know that. The key is split it very small. Easier to start a fire with. Very, very small. So I'm going to create this kindling here and then use one of my fire starters to get this thing started. Hopefully I don't chop my hand. As you can see, I have a scar on my hand. Actually, a lot of scars from doing just this. Should probably wear gloves. And you know, if you're making a fire and you really need to get it started, of course you would feather the stick, get your feathers up, get your kindling, and do it proper way. But I have what I need, so I'm just getting some small sticks, small enough to get the fire started. There you go. Recently sharpened hatchet. Sharp hatchet is sharp. Another good thing to have out here on you is a first aid kit, which I've used many times. So yes, I'm bleeding, but it's not that bad. If anything, I can stick it in the snow, make it coagulate quicker, make it stop bleeding a little faster. Anyways, we're gonna keep on going here because I can't stop if this is a survival situation. I just want that bad of a cut. So I got some wood here. Now what I'm going to do is I'll probably make it a little bit smaller, but create myself a base here so I'm not directly on the snow. And we got the bases set up for our fire right there with a few bigger logs. So before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the car and get this thing patched up. So yes, be safe, but take care of yourself when you do get hurt. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Good old paper towel, Band-Aid. So for my fire starting, everything that I showed you earlier that I have here, I would never leave without these things to be able to start a fire. Just stupid to do such a thing. So always have these things on you so you can start a fire and stay warm no matter where you are. So I'll go ahead and crawl in here. Hopefully I don't get a big pile of snow on my head. Oh yeah. So as I said before, it's not going to be terribly comfortable. Not going to be the most comfortable thing you ever slept in, but it's enough to maybe keep you alive long enough to be able to get out of here in decent shape. So I think this thing's done bleeding for now. Set this aside. So we'll go ahead and get this fire started here. I have a plethora of choices, as anyone should have if they're out here. So I'm gonna go with trying the Zippo emergency fire kit here. It's supposed to be really easy to do. Man, it's starting to bleed again. That's a sharp hatchet. Highly recommend it. So the directions for this thing are pretty simple. You're supposed to So take one of these little cotton things here, just like so, get you a stick. You're supposed to expand it down along the stick here. See if I can get this thing to unravel. The whole point is to get the cotton to unravel, create those fibers that are really easy to light. I don't know if that'll work or not, but I'm not stupid. I have these matches, so these matches are what I'm going to use to start the stinking fire. But let's just see. I don't have the fibers done very good, but let's see if this lights or not. This is straight from the package. Honestly, my first time using it, so we'll see if it lights. Look at that. Just like that, you have fire. I'd say it works pretty well. Right out of the package, waterproof package. You got yourself some good stuff here, so let that burn. Let that cotton really catch. And the nice thing about this is it's fairly tight bundle there. If you don't unravel it, it's going to burn for a good amount of time. So you got your wooden surface here, so it's not sitting in the wet snow. You set it up, you know, you got your piece, your fire there. And then, you know, the smaller you get these things, the better. The more chance you're going to have at getting the fire started. But this isn't a fire lesson per se. We're just here to build a shelter. There you go. It's starting to catch real slowly. Thankfully it's dry out here, and there's not a whole lot of wind. So it's starting to catch slowly but surely. Another reason that I chose, for this fire pit, you can see I left the snow here. The whole reason for that is, there we go, it's starting to catch. I would build up this bank and create a windbreak from the wind coming down over the hill, but I'm not worried about it right now because I'm not living here tonight. But as you can see, highly recommend this thing. Worked right off the bat. Pretty simple and easy to use. Waterproof, one strike. I think it worked in 1 or 2 strikes, and boom, I have fire. Very handy. If that didn't work, I'd use my waterproof matches. Anyways, yeah, so this is my first video. I hope you can take this and maybe you get one thing from the video, whatever it is, and put it in your kit bag and keep it in there, and hope maybe it'll save you one day. Other than that, maybe you just enjoyed watching the video. What I want to get into in the future is teaching people how to do this on MudDog expeditions, and make it a more learning experience where people get more out of it than just driving through this beautiful scenery. They get to learn how to survive. And this is just one area that, you know, where I would do a class. Future classes could include things such as proper winching of the vehicle, how to use traction boards, correct spotting for any vehicles that might be with you, off-road type stuff. So this is just the beginning. I hope you liked the video. There will be more. I know I wasn't very good at talking in the camera work, but anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and pack up here and get MudDog home because he's in the car and he's cold, and I'm cold too, but I'm actually not that bad. Believe it or not, I'm warmer in here than I was out there. I can already feel the heat from this fire starting to radiate a little bit. And if you had a big fire, you could lay here all night long. Maybe not comfortably, but warm enough to stay alive out here, most definitely, and get you through to the next day. So that's all from me. MudDog 6 signing off. Hope you have a good week.